Hey guys, what's up? It's Vanessa, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about my abuse story. So stay tuned. Thank you. I was a victim of abuse for 4.5 years, and when I was by my kid's dad or donor, he was very manipulative. He lied, he drank, he did drugs, he cheated on me several times. It was like he could do whatever he wanted to, and I was on lockdown, basically. I lost all my friends because of him. I drifted away from my family, and I've been single 4 years now. So yeah, it's been almost 5 years since I've been in a relationship with him. It never got better. It was bad from the start. When I first met him, he made me feel like I was the only one for him and the only one in his life, and this and that, a whole bunch of lies. I didn't realize it then. He was all about him. He didn't care about me. He didn't care about nothing but him. He stole $1,000 from me and used it to gamble at work release. And he never paid me back. He never saved anything like he said he was. He was a liar. There's nothing I could do. When I first met him, he was very manipulative from the start. He went as far as writing me and telling me that when he got out, he didn't have nowhere to live if I could get a place to live. And I said, yeah, and I did. It was above my mom's apartment. So when he got out a year and a half later, he wanted to drink and party. So I figured, okay, I'll drink with him. I didn't really know him. I knew him through letters. And that's one thing I regret. I would never do that never do that again. But I learned my lesson. But anyways, when he came home, he wanted to go to his uncle's house to do drugs. So we did. And I smoked weed with them a little bit. I didn't really feel comfortable there at all. And then we come home. He's drunk and he wants to drink more, and so he does. He gets real fucked up. So I'm like, well, I didn't like how he was acting. So I said, well, I'm gonna go downstairs and see my mom. He pushed me out of the way and said, no, you're not. You're here with me now. I'm home. I'm here now. You have me. You don't need them. So he kept pushing me. He pushed me twice after that. So he was pissed drunk, naked. No. I uppercut him, and he fell to the ground and laid there naked all night. I went into the room and I locked the door. And in the morning, of course, came the sorries and I love you. I just want to spend time with you. This dumb shit. So I believed him and we made up, and that was it for that day. I also got pregnant not too long after that, and we went to my uncle's wedding reception. He didn't want to go, so he thought, okay, he'll drink at the wedding. He was talking to these girls, talking to the bartender. It was an open bar, so he was drinking a lot, taking shots a lot, and I was sitting by myself. He wanted to go do drugs at his uncle's. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna leave. And this is my uncle's wedding. Is like, well, whatever, I'm gonna take the car. He was pissed drunk. I was not gonna let him take the car. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We got in the car. Let's hurry up and go. He got mad, punched me in my head, like a lot. I was driving. Punched me in my head, punched me in my stomach, pushed me. Just got real stupid in the car. He tried to press on the gas pedal or the brake. He scared me. And we finally made it to his uncle's house. I went in to go get him after 20 minutes. I'm like, look, we have to go. And his uncle said, oh, well, you're going with her, then go. You can't stay here. So he came with me. he got mad at his uncle for kicking him out. So anyways, we get back in the car and he's pissed off at his uncle, plus mad at me. He starts punching me in my head, punching me again, and pushing me, acting real dumb in the car, real stupid. So we get back to my uncle's reception, and he goes and drinks again. I go to go sit down, and by the time I sat down, I started having like little cramps, and by the time I sat down, they were getting worse. I go to the bathroom and look, and there's blood everywhere, like real big clots of blood. So I'm like, my aunt, who was in the bathroom at the time, I tell her that I'm bleeding, and she looks, and the other aunt went to go get my mom. He didn't want to leave, so fuck it, like let's just leave. And we go to the hospital. He's in the waiting room. He didn't come in the room with me at all. We're there. They do blood work. They do a bunch of other tests to see if the baby's okay. Stress tests for the baby and everything. And they do the test, and then 2 hours later, or like an hour and a half later, the doctor comes back and says I had a miscarriage. My mom was in the room with me, and we both started crying because I had a bond between me and the baby. He finally comes in. He's like, "So what's going on? Can we go? What happened?" And my mom said she lost the baby. And he starts laughing and snickering and smiling. We go home. We go back to our apartment. He wants to drink more, but also he wants me to make him food. My sister came up and asked me what happened because my mom told her I had a miscarriage, and she comes up and I'm talking to her, telling her what happened. And he says, "I told you to go make me a pizza." I'm like, "Okay, just wait." And she's like, "No." She's like, "You just had a miscarriage." And she cusses him out, and she beat his ass. He got mad. He was mad at me for taking her side. We're going to bed. And he said, "I can't believe you took her side. I don't need this right now." He's like, "What?" I'm just saying real dumb stuff to me. I'm hurting my feelings. I'm taking it because I'm tired and the crap I've been through that day. I go later, he kicks me off the bed. Like, I need to go sleep. He's like, he punches me. I fall to the ground. And he says, "You're not pregnant no more, bitch. I told you to make me food. You didn't make me it. You're on thin line. This and that." I'm like, oh my god, I was so scared. Nothing really changed. It even got worse. He got worse. I just didn't feel like staying home. I didn't want to be there with him alone. So I would go to my mom's house or my grandma's house. And mind you, like when I met him, I had just lost my grandma. I had just had a miscarriage. I ended up having 2 kids with him. And they also had to go through that. Not the hitting, but just mistreated by him. Real bad. He kicked me and my son out twice. Then he kicked me out the day I came home from the hospital after having my son. And he kicked me and my son out not too long after my son came home. He was in the NICU for 8 weeks. So then he kicked us out again in November that same year. My son was only 6 months old. We had moved into his stepmom's house. We were living with my mom, and we moved into his stepmom's house. And he kicked us out, and she kicked us out too. I went back to my mom. I stayed there for a while. Then I got my own place again. So then I ended up letting him know where I lived so I could get my stuff back. And nothing changed. You know, he was still the same. I hated him. I didn't even love him anymore. At the time, I was also pregnant with my daughter. My daughter was born July 15th. He had a full-time job too. He didn't pay any rent, didn't help with my kids, didn't help with my son at all. Didn't do a damn thing. He's a scrub, basically. I had my daughter. She was 5 weeks early. She was due August 15th. Around there. So I had her early. And she stayed in the hospital, the NICU, for 4 weeks. She wasn't sick or anything. She just had, I think she had jaundice, and she just had to eat and gain a little bit of weight. She got out of the hospital, and like a week, 2 weeks later, he kicked all of us out. He left early in the morning. When he left, I got the diaper bag full of formula, diapers, a few changes of clothes for them, like a week's worth. And my son wasn't walking, so I had to take the stroller and take them on the bus and go to a different city to a shelter. And I didn't really want my kids to stay there. I mean, it was a nice place, but I didn't want my kids to stay there. I called my mom from the shelter. All I did was say, "Mom, can me and the kids come over for dinner?" And she said, "Yeah." So we got a ride from someone from the shelter, came to my mom's house, and before I was about to leave, I wasn't gonna leave, but before I was getting ready to leave, I asked my mom if me and the kids could be with them again, and she said yes. Yeah, he never did anything for them. My son witnessed a lot of the abuse, and for a while after we left, my son was hitting me. I mean, little kids do. He was only 1.5, but he was hitting, and it took a week for him to stop. So he stopped, and I still see him on the streets. I see him around, and I get scared. So that's about it. And I want to know what your point of views are, your comments if you've been through the situation or are going through it. Please let me know, and so I can be here for you and you can be here for me. We'll help each other out. So thank you for watching, and subscribe, like, and I'll get more. Thanks. Bye.
Really quiet. If anyone accused her, man, she started a riot. You couldn't ask her, but somehow you knew.